I spoke with that 15-year-old's mother last night, and she tells me her son is in the hospital recovering. He suffered a skull fracture. Doctors had to perform 2 brain surgeries, and now he will require physical therapy before he can get back to normal. Of course, that mother and neighbors in the area tell me they are just happy he is alive. But what happened here? The mom tells me her 15-year-old son was simply on East Yeager Lane walking to a friend's house. Many people tell me that is not uncommon to see folks walking on the road, and that's because there are no sidewalks. They depend on the bike lanes you see there. You can see in this video 2 men doing just that. I saw another man walking in the ditch to avoid the road altogether. Now neighbors are calling on the city to take action. Check it out right behind me. You think this is the Blanco River? Well, it is, but technically right here, there is a crossing. Of course, you have the traditional fair rides like the one I'm on right now. While you were sleeping, lawmakers wrapped up the 3rd special session with the biggest focus, redistricting. It's not muddy right now, but think about it. When you have thousands of people walking through the park, you're going to start to see those muddy conditions. Right now, I'm standing where the monument would go. Just to give you some perspective, I'm about 5'6". This is how tall the Statue of Liberty is compared to me. And this is how tall the monument would be. So, okay, you may be wondering, well, which car is the most popular that thieves are looking for? Well, I have one here for you to show you, and we're talking about Toyota Prius. They're expecting up to 8,000 attendees, but for now, guys, I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna go ahead and try out the rides. Sally, Tom, good morning. Philip Wiggins says he parked his bike and shoe shine cart near the Plaza Saltillo station and went inside a nearby store to buy something to drink. When he came outside, everything was gone. Philip Wiggins has always believed you have to look good from head to toe.
Well, the rank to me is a man. You must take care of your shoes.
The Army veteran has always kept his shoes shined. It's a skill passed down from his grandfather.
I know how to do it. He taught me how to do it.
Wiggins honed his craft and started Boots Shoes Pumps in 2019 after he built a shoe shine cart.
I work for myself. I can shine any kind of shoes, alligator, shark, anything.
It was a new beginning after a rough couple of years that landed him in a treatment facility to get sober and eventually to Caritas of Austin for housing, helping him get back on his feet. Over time, the business slowly grew, but took a hit last year because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite that, Wiggins says he has loyal customers. He was making it, but now he's back to square one. His bike and shoe shine cart were stolen.
And all that stuff is gone. I mean, gone.
Today, he's asking the community for help to find his property so he can once again be his own boss.
I'm stressed with the loss of my machine. I know it's here in Austin. I don't know where it is, but I'm lost. Please give me a break. Return my work.
And I do have some good news. In the midst of working on this story and as going around with Philip and asking around the neighborhood, he tells me they were able to find his shoe cart, but his bike is still missing. He was able to transform it into an electric bike using a generator and a battery he got from overseas. We'll have photos online in case you've seen his bike. When Philip Wiggins arrived at Creek Fields in southeast Austin on 2 feet, little did he know he would be leaving on 2 wheels.
Got you a shiny bike. Wow.
Thanks to people like Mark Baldwin, Ruthie Hanna, Eloy Fernandez, and many more who came together. They all wanted to do one thing.
Austin is behind him.
They just wanted to help the man out.
I'm grateful for all the community support that I've gotten.
Baldwin started a GoFundMe to replace Wiggins' bike.
Oh my goodness.
The community pitched in and they quickly reached the goal. Baldwin ordered Wiggins an electric bike.
Can I give it a whirl?
Yeah.
One that would help Wiggins haul his shoe shine cart.
I feel blessed. Blessed. Really blessed to be able to go back to work.
Oh my goodness.
Others like Hannah and
Diana
provided some financial support, but it was the veteran's story that resonated with the community.
My dad served in the Army and like a lot of people, and so I wanted to give back to another veteran.
And to the community,
Wow, beautiful.
here's what Wiggins had to say.
I thank you, from the bottom of my heart, that you people have great hearts and were able to help me so I can get back to work. Thank you. Thank you very much.
But guys, when I tell you, so many people flooded my email. I was just
I'll say,
shocked.
looking at his shoes they're in top shape. I have some boots that need shining that I'm wearing right now, and I'm like, that guy does it as good as I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He carries himself with such grace.
He does.
Yes, he wants to make sure that he looks good when
Yeah.
he's working, because that's his style.
That's his job.
I mean, it was just so amazed by the community. It was really because of you guys that you guys made it happen. It's a windy 2-lane road stretching through Travis and Hays counties. And for neighbor Dana Leslie, FM 1826,
often feels like we're on the last lap of, a Daytona race.
speeding cars, blind spots around curves, and lack of dedicated turn lanes in the growing area have Leslie rethinking her family's future.
Right now, my plan is when my 13-year-old is old enough to drive, if 1826 has not changed, we will move.
She's not the only concerned mom.
I have a 17-year-old daughter who's a new driver, and so that's scary just in itself.
Neighbors in the Lewis Mountain Ranch neighborhood and nearby all want to see a change. They've turned to state and local leaders for help.
It is a safety issue. The last thing we want is for people to die or be injured in car accidents.
The latest numbers from TxDOT show so far this year in Travis County along 1826, there have been 21 crashes involving 79 people. Along the Hays County section of the road, 27 crashes involving 62 people, nearly tripled from last year.
I feel like the road is completely unsafe.
During a community meeting this afternoon where dozens showed up, TxDOT announced they would be adding 6 dedicated turn lanes at intersections along 1826, including one into the Lewis Mountain Ranch neighborhood. The agency also plans to add additional signage along curves to warn drivers and has hired a consultant to begin work on the future of widening 1826, something Leslie says needs to happen sooner rather than later.
On a road like this, even the most minor mistake could result in a fatality.
In Southwest Austin, Candy Rodriguez, KXAN News. Hidden away by overgrown weeds and litter is San Jose Cemetery 2.
To see the cemetery in the condition that it's in, I can go one of two directions. I can be sad and overwhelmed by how much work needs to be done, or I can do something about it.
The 4.5-acre cemetery is one of 2 dating back more than 70 years, a final resting place for Mexican Americans, including some of Joaquin Rodriguez's family.
It's personal for me.
He's in search of a great uncle, a man he first learned about after tracing his own roots.
There's just a lot of names that are lost. There's a lot of graves that are lost right now.
Now he and other descendants, as well as community leaders, are working to make sure their loved ones are no longer forgotten.
Nearly a third of Austinites are Latino, and quite frankly, we don't have enough historic preservation sites that are dedicated and recognize the history of Latinos in Austin. And so that is why the San Jose #2 cemetery is so important to the Latino community.
It is the history of Montopolis. It is the history of Del Valle. This is Austin history.
Good morning.
Every Wednesday morning, Ana Villalobos shows up to this trail near the Conley Guerrero Senior Activity Center in East Austin. She's on a mission.
I like to go fast. It does feel good, the wind in your hair, especially on the hot days.
Villalobos, along with Kathy Lamb and Mary Reyes, is a golden roller.
Golden is kind of a term like the golden years, the golden girls, right?
On your left.
For months, the COVID-19 pandemic kept many of these older adults apart.
I completely isolated because out of fear.
One study found loneliness in older adults doubled from 2018.
It's not just a physical health issue, it's a mental health issue.
For some, the pandemic continues to keep them isolated.
It's been kind of tough for us.
Golden Rollers hopes to provide a connection.
Socialization is very important for us right now.
So this is like really a godsend.
For now, Villalobos hopes other older adults will join her, proving you're never too old to roll.
Just get out, just get out here. Get active, move around, you'll feel better. Yeah, and the founder says they want to get older adults out and about, but he says another goal is they want to ensure that
they're seen by society, because I feel like sometimes we forget about
Ignored.
older folks. Yeah, you know, because they're inside. They're,
Yeah.
I love that they're on 3 wheels too. 'Cause,
Better.
it can be hard to, you know, keep your balance.
At first,
especially on
yeah.
the trail and all that.
Yeah,
That's a cool way to do it.
Yes.
Ana Villalobos, who I interviewed, she just, man, she was going. Like, it was hard for me to keep up with her.
Were you running? Are you behind her?
No, I was in a bike.
Oh,
with
you
her.
were too?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I love
Yeah,
it.
I was like, I have to catch up to her, and she was just going. I was like, Miss Villalobos, wait for me. Slow down.
Hold up.
She was like, I'm here to get my bike ride in. That's right.
I love it. And the friendship, the companionship,
Yeah.
for sure.
They get to
Thank
make
you
a
for
lot of
that story, Candy.